Alrighty, hey there ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another cast. Let's unmute myself, and hey, we're good to go. We are now live, and we're about to go ahead and get started with Game 3 of EU West. I'm joined by...
Vinicius?
Yeah, Vinicius over here. And that was probably... We could work on the introduction a little bit, get that segue a little bit smoother.
Well, the way you said it, I thought you were going to introduce me, so I'm sitting here waiting like, is he gonna
say it? Okay. Alrighty, so let's see. Oh, whoops, I had the wrong IRC tab open that last time. Oh, well. Yeah, we're going ahead. We're jumping into Champ Select. Vinicius and I are going to go ahead and cast. This is Game 3 of the EU West IRC 5s. And do you know anything about these players, Vinicius? Can you tell me anything about them?
Nope.
Yeah, sounds about right.
They're all EU West fags.
Yeah, I know. What is with
no? I mean,
West,
we have some names here that we've seen before. I know Danny Min, ACH Vestiano, Trandle Fizz, and Jiffy X have all been here before.
Yeah, and
but the other guys I think are new.
Are they relatively good players?
Oh yeah, I mean, I try not to invite people that are bad, so
you know, just sort of a little bit of elitism just to shake things up a bit. Yeah, so we are in Champ Select. We have had 2 bans so far. A first ban for Elise right away, and then a Mumu really quick afterwards. Oh, I got that backwards. It was a Mumu, then Elise. But what do you know about Elise? Why is she being banned right now? I thought she was nerfed when her mana got increased for her neurotoxin.
She's a skank. That's why she's
hey, she is a fun skank. She's actually my main, so...
Oh, really? Well, then you're just a terrible person.
I love messing with people. Just land that cocoon, and then boom, burst.
Yo, that's why. It's because she has so much power being able to, use her full mage burst, which is, aside from not having an ult, it's just as good as any other mage in the game. So pit her against a Lux or a Malzahar or anything like that. If they get all their spells off, she's going to do comparable damage to them. And then she can just pop in spider form and do twice as much damage.
Be like, well, I'm going to repel away. Whee!
So that too, yeah. But no, I mean, the escaping isn't even what the problem is. The problem is that she can just do so much damage for nothing. It's absolutely free in spider form, and that's nonsense.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I do enjoy her. As far as the other bans, we did have a Mumu, Akali, Kale, and Hecarim. Kale was banned in a couple of these games. Can you tell me why Kale is being banned so much?
Akali in the EU West in particular, or I should say all the EU servers, she was a lot more popular than on the NA side, so we do see that very often. It looks like, am I imagining, did we miss a third ban for the blue team there?
Yeah, it looks like the blue team was a little bit AFK in the beginning. Either that or they deliberately only wanted 2 bans. I don't know what that's about, but...
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, also, same thing, Kale and Hecarim. Now, Hecarim ban, he's really high mobility. So far with the Zyra pick, it looks like the blue team is going to try to go for a little bit more of a slower, beefier, maybe even a more bursty sort of composition. So they're trying to shut down that Elise, that Hecarim, that high mobility burst play. What do you think the purple team might be going for? We see a Jarvan and Taric already pretty tanky.
Who knows, you can never really judge until you see what top and mid lane are, at least.
Yeah.
Because obviously Taric can fit into any comp, Zyra can really go, mid or support, so there's no telling really where they're going with it.
Yeah, so it looks like we do have a jungle Nocturne. We just saw Nocturne in the last game, who was absolutely fantastic. He had some really, really great ganks in the top lane to shut down Zed. And once again, a Draven. Draven, really, really high damage. Not so sure I agree against a Jarvan and a Taric. Both of them can shut him down pretty quick with the Cataclysm and the Dazzle. I'd rather see something more like a Caitlyn or an Ezreal, just something that has a little bit more mobility, a little bit more escape potential. What do you think about that?
I don't know, I've been seeing less and less of Ezreal lately, which I'm perfectly fine with. I can't stand Ezreal as a champion.
Mystic shot for the win!
I could never complain about Draven being in a game. I absolutely love Draven. He's my favorite AD carry by far. He's probably my favorite AD champion in general.
Yeah, so now we do have Zed and Ahri. Tell me what you think about that.
I'm trying to figure out if this is going to be Well, I guess it's going to be a top Zed and jungle, or a mid Ahri. She had the smite there for a little bit, so I'm kind of going jungle, Ahri, what?
New meta, double jungle.
But yeah, I'm actually a big fan of Zed. I like playing him as support, because he gets all of his damage for free, and he can just kind of sit there and harass the crap out of people.
I'm going to take the devil's advocate for you.
It's amazing.
He doesn't really have that much sustain, though. So
you don't need sustain when you can hit level 6 and blow up anyone.
I guess that is a little bit important, a little bit nice. We also have
the
a
other
Lulu
thing
and
is,
Renekton. Wow.
Zed is one of the champions that there's no real benefit to leveling, or there's no concrete, like, this is the way you have to level his spells every time. Like, it's pretty much understood with Ahri that you level her Q first, because that's all her damage. And Renekton, you can kind of go, you can level the Q for the sustain, or you can level the W for the damage. With Zed, it's all about your playstyle in whatever lane you're in. Like, if you're top and you're against somebody like Rumble who has a lot of range damage and you can't really ever get too close to without, teleporting right onto their face, which obviously for Rumble is a terrible idea, you can level your Q first. If you're bottom like I do, I level Q because I can throw out a clone, throw Q, and it'll hit the entire lane. Or, the length of the lane.
Yeah, enough of them.
The thing is, when you're support Zed, you can level your W second and get your 25% AD bonus as quickly as possible, so that even though you're building crappy items, you get really caught up in... Yeah, exactly. But we can stop talking about Zed now.
Yeah, that's really cool. We saw a Caitlyn pick along with Lulu and Renekton. It does look like both teams do have pretty standard compositions, AP mid, AD carry support, bottom, top, nice tanky bruiser. In terms of team fights, I really feel like the blue team is at a little bit of a disadvantage. They're going to have some difficulty engaging, especially with Nocturne. Draven, not so good at engaging. He really has to catch people sort of near the middle or the tail end of the fight before he starts shredding them down. Versus Caitlyn, who can just use her absurd amounts of range to initiate a team fight, even using Ace in the Hole to catch people. What do you think team fights are going to look like?
Well, I think, like you say, the blue team is going to be relying a little more on catching people, offsides, as opposed to purple team really has some strong engage with the combination of Jarvan, Zed, and Taric.
Absolutely. So, and of course, Ahri as well, using that ultimate just dashing around. That is the most infuriating thing to play as, because the cooldown is always shorter than you expect it to be.
Yeah. I think for... at least early to mid-game, it's really heavily going to be decided by how top goes, and that's going to be heavily decided by how the junglers do. Because if Renekton gets beefy really quick, he can absolutely just go around and terrorize the other lanes without a problem.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Whereas Zed can't do that as easily.
Zed doesn't really get too terribly tanky. He sort of needs to scale with his AD and try to burst down the carries, namely Zyra, Draven.
Exactly.
I totally agree. Assuming all of the lanes are equal, it's going to come down to whichever top lane manages to get that early advantage and then push it. So let's see. What else can we talk about? We do have a healthy amount of CC on both sides. Caitlyn Snare, Jarvan Cataclysm and Slow, Ahri Taunt, and even Taric Stun. In terms of CC, do you think the purple team is going to be trying to go for more aggressive pushing lanes, trying to keep their opponents close to their turrets, or do you think they could be roaming? Because there's definitely a lot of potential to have Ahri go bot or even go top lane along with Jarvan for a very, very powerful level 6 gank.
Yeah, it's true enough. I mean, but on the same token, though, I think Zyra going down once she hits level 6 to bot lane or something like that, is pretty much just as strong as Ahri showing up out of nowhere. I think it's definitely going to be more decided by, once we get into team fight phase than anything else. Yeah. Because none of the lanes are really, completely one-sided as far as picks are concerned.
And that's actually pretty nice that we didn't see any direct counter pits, that these players are picking champions that they're comfortable with, instead of just saying, oh, well, it's Draven, I'm going to pick X because X is better than Y and all of that fun stuff. So.
Well, Caitlyn is actually one of the champs you do want to play against Draven because she completely outranges him, and Taric obviously can just shut down pretty much any AD carry. But in the same token, Lulu can counteract a lot of what Tarek does. So
Yeah, she does throw out a lot of harass with that glitter lance.
yeah, I mean, it balances out, or the teams are balanced very nicely as far as picks are concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're about to go ahead and get in the game. The delay is only about 6 seconds remaining, and hopefully there weren't any disconnects.
Hopefully.
So we'll get that going in just a moment. We'll go ahead.
Considering we've got 20 minutes now until game 1 of NA starts because of daylight savings.
Yeah, I know. For those of you who are wondering what exactly we're talking about, when we set up the tournament, we didn't take into consideration the fact that daylight savings times in the United States was changed from daylight savings time standard in Europe. So we had set everything up to happen at the same time, what we thought was the same time, and actually turned out to be an hour different. So everything is delayed by about an hour. For those of you who've tuned in multiple weeks in a row, you've probably noticed this by now. But this game may get cut off halfway through. Hopefully we'll see like a 20-minute rush. That way we could segue nice and smoothly into the next one. So, do you have any opinion on the skin war? It's actually every single person has a skin except for Jarvan.
Let's see. I think Haunting Nocturne is a cheap skin, and I don't like Soul Reaver Draven at all.
Mm-hmm.
I say, as a Draven player, I think he got gypped on skins. Shockblade Zed is one of my absolute favorite skins in the game. I'm obsessed with anything lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like Wicked Lulu because she reminds me of the Dark Magician girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day.
Oh my god, my childhood right there. Yugi, believe in the heart of the cards.
The heart of the cards. The fate of the world must be decided by a children's card game.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, can we just talk for a second about how ridiculous it was that Yugi managed to beat a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon with frickin' Karibo?
I mean,
seriously?
It's... The entire series was written with a pen owned by Deus Ex Machina, so I mean,
yeah,
there's absolutely nothing that makes sense in any of the plot points.
Oh my gosh, that show was
the thing that made the most sense in the entire show was the dialogue between the Paradox brothers, and no one understood what the hell they were saying.
Those guys. Oh no, what was his name? Eddie, the America guy. Oh my gosh,
it's like Bandit Keith.
Yeah, Bandit Keith. Bandit
in
Keith.
America.
In America.
Oh my god. If you've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged,
yeah,
where they make fun of him, oh my god, the fight between him and Joey, when Joey uses Copycat and steals his catchphrase, it's fantastic.
You can't say that. You're not from America.
I play the Copycat card. It allows me to copy your catchphrase. In America.
No!
That's my catchphrase. You can't have it.
Oh, hey, we are now.
What's that? I can't hear you. I was too busy being American.
God, those guys are really creative. The Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you ever see those?
Yes.
Oh, they're so funny. Oh, I actually have the Nexus graphical bug. That's actually kind of cool right now.
Oh boy.
The Nexus is fine, but it's just the crystal on top is like floating in the air.
Interesting.
Yeah, go figure. Okay.
Oh, wait, yeah, I see that too. You're right.
Oh, maybe it's just it's not spawning minions yet. Yep, all set up. Cool. So, yeah, it doesn't look like we're going for an invade quite yet. And real quick, I just want to confirm, do you want to do color or play-by-play?
I'll do color. I'm terrible at play-by-play.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty then. Well, I guess for now, we're just going to keep on talking about the Abridged series. Did they ever finish the Yu-Gi-Oh series?
No, they got. Oh my god! What? I don't remember what part of the series they actually got up to. It was after the Pegasus tournament.
Mm-hmm. Because there was the Pegasus.
It just started getting wacky as shit.
And then it was like the God cards. What was?
Yeah, it started getting into that. But then it completely diverted into like random filler that became the entire focus of
Merrick. That guy.
No, Merrick is the main bad guy in that arc.
Yeah.
But they got like halfway through it and then completely diverted to something else, and I don't remember what it was.
Because I remember it was going into like
they did get through it.
Merrick was like actually some kind of ancient Egyptian who had his own relic thing. I forget what it's called.
No. You're thinking of Bakura.
No,
Bakura
because Merrick was like, he was stuck in the tomb or something.
Oh,
And
no,
his sister was Isis?
Yes. His family was all about protecting the secret of the,
Yeah.
that nonsense.
I forget what they're
Whatever
called.
the hell it was.
It was years ago. We were children.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So it does look like we actually did have a red invade, and even going for the blue, too. Nocturne is actually not spotted by the minions, so that's kind of cool. Nocturne with the quick red invade. It doesn't look like there was an invade from Jarvan. He's about to walk through the ward, and Nocturne is actually suddenly in a really bad spot. He's pretty low. And Jarvan isn't going for golems. Oh, man, this could be pretty bad for Zed if Zed decides to continue pushing.
I personally can't stand going for golems as a jungler. They take so long, they do so much damage, and there's so little benefit.
But it's there. I mean,
yeah,
you have to do it. I agree completely. Golems
I just leave it to top lane every time. I tell them, like, if you back whatever, get golems.
Okay.
Or bot if I'm blue.
Does look like we have a potential gank about to happen. Jarvan jumping in on Renekton, manages to land the knock-up Zed, trying to do a lot of burst, but he doesn't quite have that much. Renekton, having to pop a health potion, but he does get away.
He's tanky as hell right now, this Renekton.
Yeah. That cloth armor.
I mean, if that had been Zyra, she would have been dead like 3 times over.
Looks like Zyra is getting pushed to the turret, just taking a look at the farm. Ahri is pushing just a little bit and then sitting outside of lane, so she is pretty scared of those Nocturne ganks.
We did see Renekton there dive onto Zed, get him down very low. Jarvan was able to come in and kind of back him off.
Scare that away. Yeah, in the bottom lane, it does look like it's exactly what you were talking about. Taric using the Dazzle lane, Caitlyn just abusing that absurd range to really do a lot of damage. And now with the minions pushing onto Draven and Lulu, they are going to be forced to fall back. And looks like there is a gank going on the mid. Nocturne manages to land a healthy amount of burst, gets the fear. Will she pull back? No. Nocturne retreats at the last second, doesn't want to take any chances. And Ahri actually managing to pick up a kill onto Zyra. Looks like she overextended just a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately she walked in, took that first hit from Ahri's Q, and then stayed there as it was coming back in, trying to land her spells.
And
she would have been able to avoid
gank
it.
Again in the top lane. Renekton just using the slice and dice to jump in. Nocturne, flashing over Jarvan,
wow.
dodging the knock-up.
That was a perfect
control.
flash.
Great control right there.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to back out of the lane now. That was a pro play right there.
Excellent Juke. And now Jarvan is just like, well, I'm done. I can't keep up with that. Runs into his own jungle. Yeah, so it does look like the players are pretty content right now just to sit back and farm. Lulu and Taric are dancing around each other in the bush. Caitlyn continuing to push the lane pretty hard. And, Draven getting dangerously low. Has got to be careful with all of that Caitlyn burst damage. If she manages to land both a Piltover Peacemaker and a Yordle Snaptrap, we could actually see him go down pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that, huge lane control that Taric has from very early on. Just makes him completely abusive.
Yeah, once again, we see the Dazzle onto Draven, and he immediately has to flash away to dodge the Piltover Peacemaker from Caitlyn. So, really great play in the bottom lane. So far, it's relatively even in gold, only about a 300 difference. Zyra managing to land a healthy amount of poke onto Caitlyn. Those plants are just so very strong. Tell me what you think about Nocturne. How he's going for the Spirit Stone instead of the Wriggles. What do you think he could be trying to build?
He could just be going for the, the Blizzard Elder. The other AD jungle item, since they get 2 for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't really clear the jungle that much faster than Wriggles, though. I don't understand why he wouldn't want to go for the Wriggles, get that crazy jungle clear, and just rush level 6.
Yeah, but in the same token, the Wriggles doesn't carry that well into late game, as far as, teamfight power is concerned.
Caitlyn actually taking a healthy amount of damage from a freshly blue-pilled Draven. He does have those 2 Doran's Blades, so he can really help burst down. And Renekton, a little bit overextended, might get double gank from Jarvan and Ahri. Oh no, don't walk into the bush, Renekton.
You know, when he turned away, I thought he knew what was going on, but we see clearly did not.
He did not. Using a great slice and dice to get out of there. The flash is still on cooldown. He's taking a healthy amount of burst. Gets charmed and picked up by Ahri. Great kill from Ahri. Excellent control from her right there. Jarvan just running with the perimeter, making sure that Renekton couldn't get out. And, of course, now Ahri, she's up to 2 kills. With that Cage's lucky pick, she is going to be rolling in dough pretty soon. And, of course, we know a fed Ahri is a terrifying Ahri.
A fed Ahri is a happy Ahri.
Yeah. If you give an Ahri a muffin. Boy, that's a throwback.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, so Renekton, Nocturne just continuing to roam around the jungle. Jarvan doing the same thing. I haven't seen any ganks go down into the bottom lane yet. It does look like both teams are content to just sit back and trade a little bit. Nocturne actually going for a little bit of an invade as well.
You know, it's kind of sad, the state of, you know, the power of AD carries as far as the game is concerned. Mm-hmm. They've really fallen off in their usefulness late game. And that's kind of, you know, all they had going for them.
It's the point of the character in the first place. Whoa, a lot of damage going on onto the Nocturne and Ignite as well. Nocturne manages to get out of there, though.
Lucky.
Very close, yeah.
I couldn't tell if he was able to shield Zed's ult or not.
Yeah,
it looked like
see.
He got it just in time, but it also looked like the shield faded, so I couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. AD carries, for me, it's always been kind of a fickle argument, you know? You have this really soft, squishy character that scales really well, so you're investing a lot of time and a support to make that character do a lot of damage in the late game. But now in Season 3, they don't do as much damage, so I'm not really sure what Riot's thinking. Oh man, Jarvan coming for an ult at the bottom. Ace in the hole, managed to pick up the kill onto Draven. Lulu barely making it out of there, wasn't able to block that attack and keep her carry alive. Great kill, and whoa, built over Peacemaker on Lulu, almost killing her, but she does shield herself in time, get out of there. Great job from Jarvan with those ganks so far. He is currently 0-0-1. Unofficially, I would say he's 0-0-2 because he did help out with that gank in the top lane, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very good gank on his part, coming, you know, right on their tower, being able to knock them up just to keep Taric and Caitlyn out of tower range. Very well placed.
Yeah. So we were talking about the AD carries. What do you think is going on with the meta for AD carries? Obviously they have to do a lot of damage in the late game and stay alive. That's pretty difficult. As far as item builds, I've been seeing a lot more people go for the Sanguine Blade than for the Infinity Edge nowadays, not really relying on crit-based builds anymore. Why do you think that's the case?
Sanguine Blade, you mean Bloodthirster?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what the hell is a Sanguine Blade? Oh, right.
It's new meta. Wow, we have a double gank going up on the top. Jarvan actually managing to try to jump onto Renekton, but he did survive, and Nocturne ulting in just at the last second to pick up a double kill.
Renekton is so tanky.
With only the Ninja Tabby.
Yeah, I mean, he in no way deserved not to die there. See Ahri getting an easy kill there on Nocturne, just
walking
Ahri's
right
so
through a
annoying.
ward.
Ugh.
She has finished her Morello's Evil Tome, so she does get that cooldown reduction. That's going to be a lot of charms.
Yep.
Yeah, so as far as AD carry item builds, why do you think people are starting to swing more towards that Bloodthirster?
Well, like we were saying before, you know, with the bruisers coming into play, they're not doing as much, or carries aren't doing as much damage anymore. I think switching to the Bloodthirster and Blade of the Ruined King as kind of the items to go to is simply because carries can't survive in the current meta. You know, they just have no other way to live.
And where do you think the meta could be going like that?
To be honest, people should stop playing AD carry support bottom. They need to just start playing double bruiser lanes.
Yeah, but if
Because
you do
think
go for
about
that
if you
double
could have-
bruiser, then you're going to have one of those bruisers be pretty far behind, won't you?
No, because you're going to be able to destroy the enemy bottom lane.
Yeah.
A normal fed support, like even if they had a couple assists in the bottom lane, cannot stand up to two bruisers. There's just no way around it.
I actually have seen that a couple times. I like to call them kill lanes, like with Darius and Garen.
Exactly.
They just
I
camp
actually
in
play
bush.
Darius support because it's hilarious. But yeah.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, you would see Pantheon Scion is the one that I remember. Just, They were dead. If they got touched at all, they were dead.
There was nothing you could do.
Yeah, and I feel like those lanes are the ones that really need to start coming back. Because I saw it done in ranked when I was in solo queue, and I was like, go for it, just don't fuck up. And did it once myself in solo queue, and both times the enemy team just had no idea how to react to it. It's because we've gotten so stagnant in this Season 2 meta that people have just forgotten that there's other ways to play the game.
I still can't believe that when I started playing, it was 80 carry mid, AP bottom.
Yep.
It's completely backwards now. Actually, I remember when I first started playing, jungle was still a thing. It was like, wait, you mean you can actually jungle and put your champion through levels through killing creeps? Like, what? I remember being really skeptical.
The game has changed quite a bit, to say the least.
Yeah. I need to watch more State of the Games to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like both teams are pretty content to just sit back in the mid game. Still 2-4, not a lot of kills. This is really actually looking a lot like a professional game in terms of how careful both teams are being. They're just really content sitting back, farming, bringing it to a mid or late game team fight. It does look like Nocturne is about to try to make a move onto Ahri. Manages to land the snare. Nocturne ults in right away. Ahri jumps away. Manages to break the tether. Oh dear. Zyra getting dangerously low. Has to be careful for the plant though. Wait, that's her own plant. That's not how that champion functions.
So I couldn't tell. It looked like when Nocturne was coming in, I couldn't tell if it was his ult or Zyra ult or what, but Ahri just took a huge chunk of burst damage, like a third of her health all at once.
Yeah, I saw that go down as well. I think it was a combination of Nocturne coming in at the exact same time Zyra was using that Stranglethorn, so it was just a lot of burst all at once. And in the bottom lane, Lulu actually having to ult herself to make it out of there. Ace in the hole, Draven, tank it! No! He backs out. Check and
Lulu did everything she was supposed to do there. It just took too much damage to get out.
That was a good gank from Garvin, yes.
Garvin, yes.
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking to my guns.
The prince and or general of Demacia.
Garvin. Garvin the Fourth.
Garvin.
Garvin
Yes.
the Furt. Her. So we were talking in Champion Select how top lane would be the deciding factor in this game. How do you think those guys are doing right now? Who do you think has an advantage over the other?
I think right now Renekton has it all over Zed just because of how ridiculously tanky he is. But in the same token, I don't think they're really going to be the deciding factor in this game anymore.
The other lanes are getting
As I
pretty
say
fed.
that.
Yeah. Renekton just swings in, picks up a kill on Jarvan. And he might go down to Zed right here. Nocturne coming in from behind. Ahri just waiting up on that high ground. That is so very, very clever.
Oh, the Draven kill steal.
And Draven with an excellent kill steal from the Nexus. Look at how far that thing is traveling. Wow. I'm not sure if Nocturne would have picked that up, but that was a good shot from Draven. Ahri played that really clever, just hiding behind the wall right there.
Yeah, no, he was definitely going to go down from the Ahri charm had caught him right before he was able to kill Zed. He was definitely a dead man there.
Yeah, really solid catch from the red team, getting both, what was that, Zyra, Renekton, and Nocturne for only Zed and Jarvan. So it's a decent trade there, sort of increasing the advantage they have. They're only about 1,000 gold ahead right now, so it's still a very, very even game.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It seems that those 3 kills are just, that's their gold advantage, and that's it. The farming has been very even from both sides.
Oh man, it does look like Nocturne trying to come in for a chase onto Caitlyn. She is maybe going to get away with the Glitter Lance hit. Yes, Caitlyn going for a juke back, getting out of the vision. Oh, but she is definitely going to die. Unfortunately, the juke was not good enough. Jarvan not even close to being able to save her. Tarek.
Yeah, I think that was partially trying to juke and partially trying to save Tarek. Because we did see him sort of turn around and try to help her, which was a terrible, terrible plan.
So the blue team is actually making a move for Dragon. Lulu dangerously low. She ults herself to survive. Draven taking a lot of damage from that Ahri. Not quite tanky enough yet, damagey enough. And it does look like both teams are going to disengage for now. Content to just sit back and farm. Yeah, Lulu is actually playing really well. She is saving her ultimate for the absolute last second. And Renekton now jumping onto Zed, doing a pretty healthy amount of burst, just keeping up with that harass, but he is just trading so very, very well in that top lane. We're going to go ahead and watch him for a little bit. He has finished his Tiamat, probably going to be working on that Ravenous Hydra pretty soon, so his minion wave clear is going to be fantastic. He's pushing the lane so hard, so Zed has to stay here. He can't maneuver around and pick up any sort of kills in the mid or bottom lane. So that's actually pretty clever. Go ahead.
I think once team fights roll around, Renekton is really going to start being a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, we actually do have an ultimate going on. Nocturne ulting onto Caitlyn, manages to pick up the kill despite the exhaust. The glitter lands slow onto Tarek. He does get silenced once again, slowed by Draven, and he goes down for a double kill.
See, now being a support main, as so many of us in IRC are, to me, that looked like a series of bad decisions on Tarek's part. That he wasn't able to get the stun early enough. He kind of wasted his heal halfway through, like as Caitlyn was getting feared, that he could have used to possibly save himself, and he stuck around a little too long trying to save Caitlyn. It was very clear to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, that she was going to go down, and I feel like he just stuck around. You know, way overstayed his welcome.
Yeah. This Tarek seems to be playing pretty good, though. He's landing some pretty good dazzles. He had some very good lane control in the early game, but I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I just meant that specific fight.
You
could see Zed there very, very correctly using his ult to try to dodge a little bit of Renekton's damage, but obviously Renekton just didn't give a crap about his tower there, so he was able to wait it out.
He's just got so much armor up to 112 right now with only a Doran's shield and Ninja Tabby. That's absurd.
Yep. And between that gank we just saw bottom and Renekton getting that tower, or looks like he's going to get the tower, and killing Zed top, we've actually caught up in kills now to where blue team is now almost 2,000 gold ahead of red team.
So that's actually pretty interesting how they are managing to increase the gold difference in their favor. The blue team is really starting to swing towards the late game. In Champs, like we talked about how the blue team would be catching the red team out of position. So far they've been doing that pretty well, but the red team has been pretty mobile. Jarvan and Ahri running around. What do you think we could start seeing in team fights? Who do you think is going to be the instigator for some of these team fights?
I don't know. It's going to depend a lot on objective control at this point. Because as we see, I mean, everybody's being really careful of their towers. Red team was able to save their top tower there with Ahri going in. Obviously, red team's bot tower has gone down, which they're going to be looking to go get, blues to answer it. It's just a lot of...
It's even trading so far.
Yeah.
And looks like we're about to have a team fight. Dragon goes down for the blue team. They managed to bring it down without that much trouble. The red team all postured up to try to counter, but nobody decided to go in. And now Renekton is actually a little bit out of position in that top lane. He could try to push it and take the tower. Zed, excuse me. Renekton is just going to push it and take that tower for just about free, and then he'll have the ability to roam around the middle. Maybe we'll see the blue team push the mid lane a little bit.
I don't think Jarvan's going to be here in time to help Zed catch Renekton.
Renekton just doesn't even care. He jumps right on.
Help Zed not die to Renekton.
Yeah. Oh my
There's another
goodness.
very well-timed ult, but it's, used to escape. It's the worst possible scenario for Zed.
And Renekton just keeps on chasing. He is so strong with that ultimate, but it's about to run out, so he's going to have to be careful over here. Oh, wow, an excellent juke with the slice and dice, but he looks like he is about to get knocked up. No, he jukes back. Ahri coming in from behind. Nocturne using the ultimate to try to jump onto Zed. Zed does go down. Uh-oh, Jarvan might go down as well. A great ultimate from Draven across the map. Helps do so a little bit of damage to that Jarvan. Jarvan retreats once again, and Nocturne picks up a double kill before going down to Ahri. Wow, that was an interesting engagement to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're starting to see that, you know, terrifying power come out of Renekton where he's able to take on two people relatively well.
And Zyra actually standing right on top of a ward, flashes, uses the Stranglethorn over the wall, manages to do a lot of damage and picks up the kill onto Caitlyn. Wow, that was some really good burst. I don't know if Zyra knew that she was sitting right on top of a ward, but she played that really, really well.
Which makes it doubly surprising that she was able to do that.
Yeah, so it does look like we're finally starting to transition into the team fights. We see the blue team push a little bit more and more ahead. They are starting to be a little bit more aggressive with their wards. You can already see forward ward placement in the red jungle. Go ahead. You good?
No, yeah, I keep muting myself because I'm getting over being sick and I don't want to be coughing over the stream.
Yeah,
you just keep stopping talking as I have to cough. So
oh,
thanks for that.
well, you know, I just gotta make it easy on you.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it's like. When I started to get back into casting about a week ago, I was just getting over a cold and I was so congested. It was hilarious because I was doing casts like this all the time and it was really, really bad. But yeah, we're starting to transition into a more team fight phase. Already you can see the Draven and Lulu pushing more up into the mid lane. Looks like they are going to try to be going for that inner turret. Uh-oh, Ahri actually disconnects. If the blue team, they are all grouped up in the mid lane, they could try to go for a quick push and see if they could take advantage of this. Oh, the game has been paused. Yeah, so...
Oh god, that was the worst possible time for a pause ever.
I know.
I happen to be stuck on Renekton and Nocturne there chasing Jarvan. I'm hearing their sound effects playing constantly in a loop. Oh god, it's terrible.
I've got those too. Hold on, let's go ahead. Oh, I can't move my mouse.
Yeah, you can't move anything when it's paused. I don't know why. Spectators should be able to move around the map.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even move my mouse off the screen.
That sounds terrifying.
I can't move my mouse off this screen. Hold on, let's
just alt tab.
Well, no, I have.
And it's not working?
Yeah.
Are you playing full screen or borderless?
Borderless.
And it's not working for you?
When I pull the mouse off the screen, it jumps it back into the middle. Holy cow! This is hilarious.
Yeah, that glitch is. Oh god. I don't even remember if that glitch is a thing. Actually, you know, this isn't the worst thing that could happen because we're about to have to switch over to the NA game anyway.
Oh, okay. Is that game all set up?
I am not sure. Let me check and see how set up we are.
Uh-huh.
They're in Corky's hangar, it looks like.
Sure.
Let me go jump in and see that.
Yeah.
It looks like he just reconnected.
Yeah,
so
the game reconnected. I'll take care of this real quick.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay. Alright, so play is about to resume and the horrible sounds will be gone in just a moment. Whoa, my mouse is still being crazy. What is this? Shenanigans. Can I... Wow, wowie, my mouse is all bugged out. It's a bug. Well, you guys are just going to have to watch the game like this now. What? How do I... Riot, how do I program your game? Let's see what we can do. Okay, alrighty. Okay. That button. And then...
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, so my mouse is still bugged out. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to have to spectate this entire game. We actually have a team fight going on. Ahri is getting a great engage. Jarvan with an excellent Cataclysm, but once again, Renekton is so tanky, doing a healthy amount of AoE damage. Zed trying to see if he can pick off Draven, but doesn't get enough damage in time. Nocturne coming in from the side, might be able to pick up Ahri. Oh no, looks like she is going to live, and Nocturne forced to retreat. A lot of damage from Caitlyn, snared though, so she cannot give chase. Wow, that is an interesting team fight.
That Lulu exhausting Zed completely turned the fight around for the blue team. Zed was getting ready to clean up the entire team, and when she threw that exhaust out, Draven was able to lifesteal himself back up to where Zed couldn't kill him. That was just fantastic.
Yeah, so my mouse is actually still bugged out, and I'm controlling the entire camera with the middle mouse button, which is kind of funny. Oh, hey, it fixed it.
That? Did it?
Yeah,
Sure.
we're good. Never mind, I guess.
All right.
We came back.
Like I said, just to update everybody, we are going to be switching over shortly to the first NA game due to daylight savings time discrepancy in the times that I was not privy to beforehand. We are going to have to switch over so we can get that game going. We'll fill everybody in once this game ends, how it ends, just so we know. But obviously, we're not going to bother casting it. I guess
so
we could bring it up on one
we're
of
gonna
our
stop the
streams
stream?
if we really wanted to.